sure and tell what was going on there, but there's something wrong with the audio tonight. Anyway, good evening. It is 7 o'clock-ish. Call it 7 o'clock. Wednesday night is fine. Doesn't matter. We're here for the important thing, which is, of course, another round of F1XL Xtra. And yes, it is myself back again. No dulcet tones this week of good old Norris. Yeah, Northern Grump, as we like to call him. But unfortunately, tonight I do have some rather sad news for you all. That we are joined by none other than Captain Brexiteer himself, back again after a break. None other than Mr. Barnes.
Hello! And I got to admit, Taz, loved the intro music there.
Don't know what was going on with that. It was acting really weird.
What do you mean that's really weird? I thought it was really good.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's maybe because everyone's becoming a lot more like Mario Kart at the moment. I don't know why, but
No comment. No comment.
If I speak, I mean trouble.
Well, what can I say? No, you're not wrong. There is a lot of things going on across all four divisions that does make it feel like Mario Kart, especially when people start spinning everywhere, like they've been hit by a banana skin.
And then they go as they're spinning.
Yeah. Wow.
Or that random moment where Senna makes a pass and somebody goes, yo!
Yeah. Someone activates their battery. Here we go! Oh, dear.
Yeah.
How are you? You all right?
Yeah, not bad. Ready for some chaos for the next hour and a bit. I'm gonna say now, I reckon we can get it done in an hour, because I don't think a lot happened on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, there's my prediction right now.
I mean, Hungary's a notoriously difficult track to overtake at anyway. The only overtaking zones that I can think of is probably turn 1 and turn 2. Everywhere else is just following the leader, isn't it? And I found that there was a lot of, especially in my division, there was a lot of DRS trains. So,
yeah, I think that was the same across the board. I will say, I think that, looking at the sort of the leagues, the guys that sort of qualified at the top end more often than not tend to finish at the top end. I know there's a few, obviously, problems in my division, for example, where DNG Titan, for example, he disconnected, couldn't get back in at all, couldn't even get the game restarted. So he obviously dropped down a lot, and then you had other people in there as well who had the same problem. Well, not the same problem, but different problems with the game. So, right, let's start off and let's talk about division number 4 first of all. You are obviously the man in charge of Div 4. So, what happened?
I mean, what happened? Well, Ald did another stonking qualifying lap, 1:16.8, which was
all I'm going to say about that part, it ain't even scratching that surface.
No. I'm not.
Oh no. When you realise what I'm going to tell you about Div 3, it ain't even scratching the surface. Trust me.
Oh no, yeah, I think I've heard.
Yeah. But we'll like, no spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah, we'll discuss that. We'll discuss that shortly, absolutely. So Alls did a 1:16.8, and then Wadey coming in P2 with 1:17.2. Alan Wire in the sister Ferrari did a 1:17.2 as well in third place, and then surprisingly we have a nosebleed. Warder in P4.
Get in there.
Yeah, I was buzzing by that. Now, so we did have to do a lobby restart.
Oh no.
Yes. There is a reason why, and it was discussed among the three race controllers, obviously Wadey, Norris, and Tyler James, along with myself as well. I obviously also had a say. And the reason for this is because Warder picked up a 5-place grid penalty for obstructing Tyler James when Tyler James had just come out of the pits. He wasn't even on a lap, and the game decided to give him a 5-place grid penalty for obstructing him. Bizarre.
Interesting.
Very, very bizarre. Yeah. So obviously the race controllers discussed it, and I think it was a unanimous decision to do a lobby restart. We let qualifying run out till to the end, and then we did a lobby restart to start the race. But yeah, that was bizarre that he got a 5-place grid penalty for a deliberate obstruction on a driver that had just come out of the pits. So,
I mean, it's not the strangest thing that I've seen happen this weekend. Put it that way. So, you're going to laugh soon.
I look forward to it. So yeah, Warder P4, Tyler James in P5, Rambo P6, Hado in P7, Dean P8, myself P9, and Kieran P10. We pretty much had a full grid apart from one. So Conte set 11, Arnie 12, Norris out qualified by his own teammate. That was surprising.
So that's why he's not here today. Oh, he said to me he had a headache, but I reckon it's because of that.
Yeah, I think so too. CRT Hayes in 14th, Senna 15th, Sparky 16th, and obviously Lynx, Quezzy, and Sparrow with quali bands didn't set a lap. The actual race itself, Alds raced off into the distance, and then I believe he was the cause of the first of the two safety cars. I think he was trying to go for an overtake on Warder after pitting. I think he dipped some tyres onto the grass, went for a spin. Somebody said that Warder farted, and that was enough for Alls to be like, no, I've had enough. Bye. But yeah, that was the cause of the first safety car, and then I think the second one was. Oh no, was that the first or the second? I think that was the first of the safety cars, and then we had a second one later on in the race, but I'm not sure what caused it. It might have been just debris.
Okay.
So yeah, unfortunately, Alds wasn't able to capitalise on the pole, and the surprise. I say the surprise winner. It wasn't really a surprise. Wadey was set out in front. Norris P2, Rambo 3, Lynx coming from basically the back of the grid to finish P4. Hado P5, Sparrow again from the back P6. Warder got a P7, Tyler James 8, Quezzy 9, Alan White ran out the top 10. Dean, Senna, myself, Arnie with a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, which I've seen the clip. I don't know what to make of it personally, but it is what it is. He had a 10-second penalty. Sparky and then Conte finished 3 laps. That's who caused the safety car. It was Conte finishing 3 laps down. He crashed. We had a late safety car. So yeah, it was Conte that caused it. I didn't have the best race. I went for medium hards. I say medium soft then. No, I went medium hards. Pitted lap 6. Was it lap 16? Yeah, I think it was lap 16. I pitted. I was sliding about all over the place. Then I somehow got some wing damage from somewhere. Oh, that's right. No, I had an incident with Tyler James around turn 2, and I felt like I didn't put it in because it was probably going to be a racing incident. Yeah, he sort of. I went for a move down the inside. He's turned in, put me into the wall, and yeah, that basically ruined my race. I had to pit for a new front wing, and yeah, I ended up finishing P12.
Did you see you didn't ticket that? Sorry, did I hear that? Yeah.
No, I didn't. I didn't put it in.
Was it one of those kind of 50-50 racing incident kind of ones? Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Exactly that. I asked the question of the team, and I think the consensus of the majority, including the steward in the team in Rock Eskimo, I think they all agreed that it would most likely be a racing incident. So I thought I'm not going to bother with it. It's not going to affect me, and at the end of the day, Tyler Jones had a bad enough race as it is. So I couldn't be bothered to even put it in. So it is what it is. We move on to next week. The championship standings in Div 4 now. That's taken a bit of a turn because obviously Alds has got a lot of poles, but hasn't converted a lot of those poles into race wins. So Wadey leads the championship on 218 points. Alds was second. Alds is second on 175, so a big 43-point lead now between Wadey and Alds. And you can see where, as you said last week, the consistency of Wadey. He's had a DNF, a P15. The rest of it has been P1, P2, P3, and P4. It's consistent. Whereas Alds, on the other hand, has had a P7, a P16, missed the sprint weekend in Singapore, in Abu Dhabi, P6 and a DNF. So it's been inconsistent. So you can see why there's a 43-point gap. Norris, a good weekend for him, picking up 18 points for second. He now moves on to 153, pretty much cements his place in the ASR. Links Aventura, again, good points for him. He's up in fourth. Sparrow moves slightly ahead in fifth of Quezzy. And then myself down in seventh. No, Rambo Jambo, sorry, is in seventh. I'm in eighth. Rambo came down, BT went up. Yeah. So Rambo's in seventh. I'm in eighth. Alan Wise in ninth. And Tyler James ran out the top 10.
That's a disgrace, by the way.
What's that?
Tyler James inside the top 10. What are you lot doing down there?
What do you mean?
I think you know what I mean. Letting that fraud inside the top 10.
I'm confused.
Yeah, you said he's in the top 10. What are you doing letting that fraud inside the top 10?
It's not my I'm trying not to take him in the top 10.
Disgrace. Absolute disgrace.
Oh dear.
To be fair, I'm looking at the results, and I do reckon that by Brazil finishing, Hayden will probably be inside the top 10 because he's had a very good start to the season in XL, hasn't he?
Who's that? Sorry.
Hayden.
Yes. Yeah. I'm very got some very good things to say about Hayden. His racecraft is very good. He's respectful, not too aggressive. I think he's really adapting well, and he's picking up some good results. So yeah, long may that continue.
Good. That's what we want to see. We want to see new drivers coming in, enjoying themselves, and actually getting some good results out of it. And it looks like he's done that so far.
And to be fair, so is the Axelot guy. He had a P2.
He's loving life in the chats from when I see his name popping up quite a lot. And yeah, he's always chatting.
And he doesn't join the VC with us, but he's always in my Twitch chat, sort of telling me how his race is going. If I think was it Australia he finished P2, but I think Singapore he was messaging my chat every time he was in the pit lane getting a new front wing. It's like pitting for a new wing. But obviously, I've got text to speak, so I haven't got to look at the screen. So I've got text to speak. So all I can hear is fucking every fucking 4 or 5 laps pitting for a new front wing.
Oh God, okay.
It was mad. It was absolutely mad. But no, he's a good lad. He's a good lad.
Good. Right, let's move on to Brazil. let's just go straight
Sprint
in there.
weekend.
Yeah, sprint weekend. Double prediction. So big
Double
information
prediction,
that's come out of the tickets this week, barring an appeal, is that Lynx won't be racing the sprint race and I'll have a qualifying ban for the main race.
Yeah. So Lynx won't be in the sprint race. So I'm going to predict. I'm going to be a little bit more. I don't want to go too left field. I'm going to go for Norris.
Always known you're more of a right wing man yourself, so.
But
Okay,
I
so
think Alds wins the main race.
okay. I think he needs it because I think if he doesn't have a good weekend this weekend, he drops down behind Norris. I think because I mean the gap's 22 points.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Norris pulling that if Ults has a double bad weekend, which not out of the question.
Yeah.
Plus the one shot, it adds chaos.
Oh, doesn't it just?
Yeah, I love sprint weekends. I know people are like, oh, I hate them because of the one shot. The one shot just adds that little bit of unpredictability,
Yeah. So last season, obviously my first season on wheel. Last season, sprint weekend around Monaco. The one shot qualifying never went well for me because I think the first qualifying lap, I was too busy trying to adjust my brake bias and diff, and then ended up fucking up my lap. And then the second lap, I didn't have the steering wheel at the right angle. So when the game told me to go into you take control of the car, I'm holding it, and I've just ended up going straight into the fucking wall. Because Monaco's on a bit of a curve on that on the start finish straight.
I
was holding the steering wheel, not really paying attention, and I've just as the game's given me control, I've just obviously got my foot on the accelerator, and I've just gone straight towards the wall. I'm like, fuck.
Beautiful.
So I'm not a big fan of one shot qualifying at the moment, just because of that.
Yeah, that's fair. Right, well, I'm going to make predictions early. We're going to simply go the sprint race. We're going to go for... You know what? I'm going to go Rambo Jambo. Yeah.
Ooh.
Rambo Jambo sprint race. Main race will be won by Wadles. Good old Wadles. Extend the lead in the championship. So, there you go. That's that done. Right. Easy as that, see?
Fair enough.
Div 3.
Now, tell me what happened in Div 3 then. Come on.
Right, so we started, we drove a bit, we finished. Yeah.
Who won the race?
Yeah, exactly. Right, well, qualifying was probably just as chaotic as the race, to be honest with you. So, not going to embarrass your team too much. However, let's just say that Mercedes dropped an all-time clanger in qualifying. And in particular, your boy Kent.
Yeah, okay.
Have you heard what happened to Kent in qualifying?
No.
So, Kent, being the good lad that he is, tried to let people who were on a lap past coming out the pit lane. Sat at the pit lane exit for too long and got disqualified for blocking the pit lane.
Not another fucking greeners.
Another greeners, but he didn't turn around and go, "Oh no, I'll be disqualified." He didn't do anything of that. He literally was like, "Yep, Gibbs has disqualified me. I was sat in the pits trying to let people past." I was like, yeah. So that's what happened to him in qualifying. He basically didn't get to sit a lap. I don't know what happened to Emmy, but I think he had a qualifying ban possibly. So,
I believe he did. Yes, I believe he did have a qualifying.
So basically, you had the two Mercs at the back of the grid. Yeah, both basically. Yeah, simple as that. They were both sat at the back of the thing, and start of a race. You can imagine what that would have been like for them. But the big story of our qualifying, right? And I'm going to pause, if I can pause this right now. Oh, I need to go back just slightly. Let me just tap this back ever so slightly. It's not letting me do so. There we go. Right. So, also, if you're not watching, make sure you follow Chips and Davey because man deserves a follow. Right. So, if you look on the left of the qualifying times, you can see that Light Shock did a 15.6. I know it's slightly dark, and then Stone Chipple did a 15.999. In that gap would have went Ancient Chap. Just behind Stone Shuffle would have went DNG Titan.
Ancient Chap would have been
P6.
P7 then.
No, P6.
What?
Oh no, sorry, yeah. P7 and P9. P7 and P9 would have been him and DNG Titan.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Ended up doing a 15.9, which was, I believe, quick enough for pole in. Yeah, so it was quick enough for pole in Div 2 as well.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, so 15.909 is what Ancient did. Chaz did a 15.924. And then Titan 16.104, which would have put him P3 in Div 2 as well. So, yeah, those guys were clear. And then Blaze did a 16.3, and then everyone else is sort of quite close after that. So, from Adski in P4, 16.5, all the way down to Puny Chipmunk in P11 was a 17 dead. So, it's like about half a second between them. And then, yeah, those guys at the top were gone. No, they were so far clear in terms of qualifying pace. So yeah, the race kind of started off, and it was very clear from the start that anyone who was stuck outside of the top three were in trouble.
Okay.
Purely because of the fact that we had where was it? It was Half Pint, I'm sure it was. Yes, so Half Pint, guy called Walnut Whipped, if you look at the spreadsheets and that, right? Qualified quite
well. I'm looking going, half pint? What?
Yeah, he's called Half Pint on track, but I better go through qualifying, but I'll do that in a second. But yeah, so anyone stuck behind him was in trouble because he qualified up in P6, and he's not found his race pace yet, is the way I would put that. But just quickly, yeah, so Ancient qualified pole, DNG Titan second, Blaze third, Azuki fourth, Forensic Narwhal fifth, Walnut Whipped, or Half Pint as you hear me reference him as, P6, Slow Dog 7, Bonta 8, myself 9, Mark 10, Chipmunk 11, Titan 12, Jelly 13, Hubbity 14, Swiss King 15, Scrub 16, and then you had the two Mercedes of Emmy and Kent in the back two positions. So yeah, start of the race happened. You basically had Ancient, Blaze, Titan, Narwhal. I think Hadsky got into that group as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Hadsky was the back car of that group, but those five pulled away because Walnut Whipped, Half Pint, who was in P6, held everyone behind up in terms of chasing the front lot down. So Slow Dog managed to get him, I think it was about lap 3 or lap 4. And I think when he overtook them, he was already like 6 seconds behind Azuki.
Okay.
And then when I got past him the next lap, I was already 2.5 seconds behind Slow Dog. So the lad is really good at the 1 lap pace. I think he could be a genuine threat for pole position this weekend. But I think once he learns how to convert that into race pace, he's going to be a threat. That's what I will say. He's got the lap times there. Because he's had 2 qualifying sessions with us, and he's qualified. Actually, sorry, 3. I think it is. Oh no, it is 2. So he was P10 last week, but to be fair to him, he said himself he made a mistake on one of the laps, and then this week he was up in P6. So yeah, there's definitely someone there. So yeah, that kind of happened, and then there was a group of cars. So Bonta, who was following me, so me and Bonta stuck together like glue, which I'll tell you about in a second. But basically, he managed to break the second gap just before the end of lap 2. So when the DRS section actually happens,
Yeah.
and I believe it was Titan Iron. I think I want to say it was Titan Iron who was there, but it was I'm sure it was Titan Iron, Chipmunk, and there was someone else fighting behind us basically. But we managed to sort of clear them, and then just once we caught up to Slow Dog, it was kind of us fighting for a little bit. And I think, actually, no, I tell a lie. I caught up to Slow Dog. Bonta didn't in that first stint because he lost the DRS to me, and I just started pulling away from him. And because we were teammates, and obviously we're in the same vicinity, we went opposite strategy. So I went hard tire first. He went medium tire first. So he pitted earlier than me. I think he pitted about lap 14, and then I ran all the way lap 20 on my hard tires, which turns out was either a mistake or not a mistake, however you want to view it. But yeah, I went for the one stop, which was painful to an extent, but yeah, not as painful as the people who were following me, put it that way. So, during said hard stint, a lot of the guys who were doing the two stop further up pitted and came out right at the back and started fighting through the pack. And they were doing alright. And Ancient and Blazed, two of the names mentioned in this conversation, they caught up to the back of me. And Ancient caught up about 3 and a bit second gap to Blazed at the start of one of the laps. Bearing in mind, I'm on these tires, I'm like, and Bont at this point, hilariously, by the way, I'm no criticism at all with Bonta, but Bonta went, you might be fighting these guys at the end of the race. Which, if you looked at it on paper, I was, because they'd pitted, I was due to pit in about 3 or 4 laps time, and I was going onto the medium tires to the end of the race. So I technically was in the fight with these guys. So I'm like, I'm not making this easy for these two. So I fought them hard. And in that one lap, that 3 and a bit second gap to Blazed from Ancient went to about a 3/10 of a second gap.
Okay.
So Blaze was basically in the DRS going on to the next straight. And Ancient, afterwards, Ancient had, like, he laughed about it, but he said, like, at the time, he was absolutely cursing me, being like, Taz, what the, like, are you doing? Why are you holding me up? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I told him after, obviously, but, so then, going down the straight on that lap, hilariously, Blazed and Ancient both went past me into the braking zone. Blazed, who is watching my way, Texas Blazed, so hi, Blazed, he forgot the brake pedal for a half second, and then went braking so far that he went straight off track. Braking. Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously Ancient took the line properly. He outbroke himself, went wide. I went past Blazed again. This was about 10 seconds after saying to me, thank you so much, Taz, for holding him up. I was like, I was not holding him up. I was racing my race. And then, what happened next lap, Barnes?
Go on.
Blaze is stuck by me for a lap. That 3 second gap comes back again. So yeah, basically his race was run at this point. Yeah, I pulled like a 3 second gap to, Ancient pulled a 3 second gap on me, and then Blaze got past me next lap, and then that was it. But pitted lap 20, came out kind of mid-ish, sort of P7, P8 roughly, and then the pit stops for the sort of two stoppers happened, and I ended up finding myself fighting. So it was Bonta. Sorry, Slow Dog was not far in front of me. I think it was about 5 or 6 seconds up the road, and that gap was coming down. But I had a decision to kind of make. I was like, I could either try and push on the mediums really hard, potentially ruin them, but catch Slow Dog, or preserve my tyres, drag Bonta with me, and potentially pull an extra couple of positions out of it overall. So I went for the latter. I played the team game because I was like, I didn't have faith to run aggressive to the end and keep the tyre safe. So basically, I was leading a train of 4 cars when I was sort of thinking, do I attack Slow Dog? And I had myself, Bonter right behind me. And this was the key difference, right? Bonter right behind me. And then Adske and Forensic Narwhal were both sort of there-ish. They weren't quite on the tail of Bonta, but they weren't far behind, basically. So I decided, yeah, basically me and Bonta worked as a team, and Adske ended up getting past about probably, I don't know how many laps it was again, but like say maybe 3 or 4 laps from the end. I would say about 4 laps from the end of the race, and then just ran away quickly. It might have been slightly more, but I think it was like 4, possibly 5 at a push, on a new set of medium tires. So he was rapid anyway. But because obviously.
He ended up 9 seconds ahead of you.
Yeah, that's about right, because basically I was going extra careful to keep Bonta within my DRS the whole time.
Protect him from behind.
Yeah, so now was behind. He had a 3-second penalty, but Titan Iron was also closing him back with us as well. So I was sort of like, let's just play the team game, get ourselves maximum points. So Narwhal got past me on the penultimate the third last lap, but gave me DRS. So I took it back off of him. He then got me basically going into the final lap, and I was like, Bonta, just stick with us and you'll get the point. And he's like, Titan Iron's getting me. I'm like, no, it's not. So I ended up finishing that way. Titan Iron said he was going to get us the next lap, but we held up Narwhal for about 10 laps, I think, overall. It's like 9 or 10 laps. So, yeah, we worked well together, the pair of us. And then, yeah, ended up being P5, P6, which cannot argue at all, because the pair of us drove really well. Probably deserved that tonight, or on Sunday night, to be honest. So, yeah, good result for the team. Try to think anything else that happened in the race. No, not really. That was pretty much it. So yeah, there you go. You got an in-depth review of Div 3. But yeah, top 2 guys long gone. Ancient finished P1, 3.5 seconds ahead of Blazed. Wonder where that gap came from. 22.5 seconds ahead of Slow Dog. So Slow Dog 26 seconds off the lead, and then Adske was a couple of seconds behind him in the end. Then you had myself, Bonta, Titan Iron, and Narwhal all within sort of a second and a half roughly. And then you had Dan Jelly, Kent, both in the fight there in sort of P9, P10. DNG Titan is classified, but I'm going to have to get that updated because obviously that's not correct. So Habadi making his return to the grid was P11. P12 would have been Emmy, P13 Swiss King, P14 Walnut Whip, P15 Berserker Mark, P16 was Scrubbed. And Fury Chipmunk was the only DNF who drove into the pit and retired. So there you go. Div 3 sorted. Predictions for this weekend. You're going to see Blazed win the main race. You're going to see DNG Titan win the sprint race. Oh, Blaze had a 3-second penalty. So there you go. There you go. So actually, yeah. That's what one of them, right?
I'm going to say DNG Titan wins the sprint, Ancient Chap wins.
I mean, it's a good shout, but I think Blaze was the quickest on Sunday. I will say that. I think most people believe that Blaze was the quickest driver on Sunday. Ancient just had the gap, and then Blaze couldn't quite get him. So,
fair enough.
But yeah,
the
right.
The championship standings in Div number 3
are interesting.
Ancient Chap leads the way on 212.
He's gone.
DNG Titan second on 154. 1 point behind is Slow Dog on 153. 1 point behind is Blazed on 152.
I'm just wanting to point this out, right? I'm not bitter, or I'm not somebody who's going to sit here and point fingers at anybody, or make bad comments about any drivers in particular. But it's the best I can put this in, and it's quite, I think, perfect in terms of the timing. But you have to use the good old Matt Letitia, it makes you think meme for this one. Last season, this guy Blaze was absolutely hopeless, finished outside the points all the time. Now he's decided, you know what, I actually want to score points, and then he's now 152 points with halfway through the season. Makes you think, eh?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Not pointing any fingers or anything. The rest of our team last season pulled in their weight, and he was just there for the ride.
Yeah. I mean, fair. Aski is the last of the ASR spots with 128. So that's a 24-point gap between Blaze and Aski. And then Chetty is in 6th on 87. President Narwhal 7th on 78. Kent 330 on 75. Dan Jelly on 69. And then Taz on 57 in the top 10.
Yeah, I will say this right now. I think the only thing that really matters in terms of our division is going to finish second, third, and fourth, basically, because I think Ancients won the championship, barring a complete meltdown, which I don't think will happen. And I don't see anyone catching Adski in that P5. I think the fact that Chetty wasn't here this week has probably just helped that a lot, because it was 29 points going into this weekend. Obviously, Chetty not racing at all on Sunday. Yeah, it's now 41 points, a big gap. I don't see people closing that gap in between, now and...
But yeah, I mean, if Ancient Chap's winning, if Ancient Chap's gone into the distance, who's your prediction for finishing second? Because as I said, 154, 153, 152. You think Blaze, yeah?
Yep. I think Blaze is the only... No, I say that. I tell a lie there. Titan is quick enough to fight Ancient. Blaze is quick enough to consistently fight Ancient.
Right, okay.
So that's how I would settle that, basically. I think that he is consistently quick. And I think Slowdog is there on consistency. I don't necessarily think he is anywhere near the pace of the three around him. And I don't mean that in a bad way to the lad. But I genuinely don't believe that his pace, if you look at Blaze, Titan, and Ancient, he's not on the same level. I think he's there purely because he hasn't made any mistakes. I think the only race he really had a problem was China. Apart from that, he's consistent pretty much every race. So, I think that's... And like I say, Solog will probably admit this himself. I don't mean any disrespect to him, but I think that those three are just so clear at times. It's scary.
Fair enough. Well, that's Division 3 wrapped up. Let's move now on to Division number 2.
Yes. So, this has very quickly become sort of the battle of the sort of two Red Bull drivers and Leo in terms of the championship. And this week it kind of changed slightly, in the fact that we had a new person appearing and actually driving really well by the looks of it, which we'll come to that in a second. But exactly. We'll come to that part in a second. But the lads that are sort of at the pointy end in qualifying, you're expecting to be there. Two of them were. Sky the Senpai went,
I'll go back to my old qualifying ways.
Yeah. The only problem I do have with it is I'm very confused by the time that's been input.
Yeah.
Because that ain't right. But
no.
Sky basically managed to qualify the car pretty far down. He is sitting P13 in qualifying. I mean, he was out qualified by Bray. He was out qualified by Justin. Wow. He was out qualified by Greeners. That's how bad it was.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was a horrendous qualifying for him. So yeah, he did not have a good qualifying. So there you go. So Sky crashed basically. I haven't seen this, but by the way, so this is hilarious if this is the case. But even so, do you know what? It doesn't matter. I referred to my previous point. He was out qualified by Greeners.
Oh wait, who just appeared in the chat? Greeners.
Yeah, I know. I'm still. I stand by my point. Nothing changes. Even his squeaky little voice. Excuse me. Do you know that Greeners actually speaks Dutch as well?
Does he?
Yeah. I've got a clip of it as well.
Oopsie whoopsie. The train is stucky wucky.
There we go. It's actually playing. It's actually playing on the stream right now. There we go.
Looking at the. I've just loaded up Hake's stream, and I've just got the quality results. He did do a 1:31.0440.
Okay, so that was right, basically. Yeah, cool. Right. Well,
how? Oh yeah, Richie got a 5-place 5-day penalty, didn't he?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, gotcha.
So, but yeah, so the ones that were expected are at the top end of the grid. So the Echte Cheese, or Chaz, as we also know him as, not to be confused with Crabs. Then you had Find a Pass and Leo in the top 3. So Find a Pass is the one that we'll come to shortly as well, and then Leo P3. Greeners, we had to be sponsored by Kleenex for the weekend with the message we had for him. He was rubbing his nose like crazy. Greeners up in P4 though. P5 for ARL Bob. P6 for Yadon Checks. P7 for Sinful Chris. P8 for Bullet Wound. 9th for Eskimo. Bray inside the top 10. Yeah, I know what the hell's going on there. P11 for Hake. P12 for Sandra. Yes, I'm going with the normal Sandra this week. I'm not going for the crazy one because, you know, he said he likes being called Sandra, so I'm going to go Sandra. There you go. P13 for Sky the Senpai. There it is. And P14 for Richie, obviously with that qualifying problems for the pair of them. Right, so on to the race. And I think the only way I can really describe this is the two-stop. The two-stop seemed to be the way to go for one driver in particular. So we had a bunch of people doing a one-stop on Sunday, and it all seemed very close. So obviously people in the chat can confirm if I'm wrong on that part or whatever, but you had a bunch of cars all separated by like 5 seconds. So Chaz, Leo, Hake, Sky, Bob, and Justin all very close and nip and tuck. Yeah, all very much fighting each other. However, it does appear that the two-stop was superior because Find the Pass did the two-stop and was an absolute country mile clear, 13 seconds up the road from Chaz, who finished in P2.
Okay.
So a surprise victory, but you know what? We like it. We like seeing that happening because Find the Pass, good lad, we like him, but didn't expect him to come out and win a race. This isn't bad for him, to be honest, because I'm pretty sure that was he the one that was meant to be put in Div 3? Is that right? Yeah. Someone was going to put him Div 3, yeah? Mm-hmm. Mental.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put him in Div 3 and now he wins the race.
Yeah.
Cleaners is shouting in capital letters. I predicted him for the win!
Yeah, we'll put him in Div 3 tier. We'll put him in Div 3 tier 1. First race in Div 2.
Tier 2, I think you'll find it was.
Div 3 tier 2.
Yeah, I'm sure it was tier 2.
Okay. First race in Division 2, he finished 3rd. Last weekend he didn't finish, and then this weekend he goes and wins the race. So clearly he's in the right division.
100%. I will say that this is probably good news for Chaz and Leo, and potentially bad news for Sky. Just based on the championship, because if you look at sort of normal results, right? If Sky doesn't have the best race, he's normally finishing P3, yeah? But if you've got another car that's going to force their way in between that, and be a problem that a gap between the winner and Sky,
Yeah.
then that's more points gained potentially for the chasing pack. And I think Leo and Chaz will both be looking at that thinking there's a chance here of catching up to Sky a little bit. 28 points is the gap between Leo and Sky at the moment. But again, you look at sort of the last few races, and Sky's picked up a P5 or two P5s and a win in that period of time. So I think that there's opportunities there for the guys behind to catch up and potentially, take this to Bahrain. Or not Bahrain, Netherlands. Or I don't know where we're finishing the season at this point because we don't know when the new game's coming out. Yay! But yeah, if you've got somebody coming in and immediately doing that after a couple of races, that's going to be... It could be problematic if Sky isn't on it.
Correct. Absolutely. But 28 points, it's still a big enough gap. It's still a race win there, isn't it?
It is at the moment, but all it takes is Sky to have 2 average qualifyings, which we know he's more than capable of. Yeah.
Yeah.
And immediately you're looking at it going, okay, if Sky finishes, say, P6, and you've got one of those guys winning, that's like a 17-point jump immediately.
Yeah.
And
you basically half the gap, haven't you?
Correct. And I'm sure he's going to hate me saying this, but my team principal appears to be somewhat back on the pace that we expect him to be. He's had 2 P4s in the last sort of 3 races. So again, that's another one who we know can threaten Sky. We know he can race and challenge Sky. So if you're now talking that Hake has solved his ZRS problems, touch wood, now he's going to have it this weekend and blame me for it. And you've got Find the Pass in there. You've got Leo and Chaz still in there. It becomes a bigger fight. You're not just fighting 1 or 2 cars, you're fighting 4, potentially 5 cars some weeks. Greeners won't be there because he's just a comedy act. Exactly. And then on the right weekends as well, we know that Sinful Chris can be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Definitely want to keep an eye out on that division. I don't think it's done yet. I think there's still a long way to go in that conversation. But let's quickly go through the results. So, as mentioned, Find the Pass did win. Chaz second, Leo third, Hake fourth, Sky P5. Then you had Bob, Bullet Wound, Greeners, Chex, and Richie all inside the top 10. Then you had Eskimo P11, Braincore, and Sinful Chris all outside the points. I'm guessing Chris either crashed or DNF'd or something because he was a lap down. And Sandra did DNF before the end of the race. So there you go. Right, very quickly, predictions.
I mean, this division is wide open now.
Yeah.
Prediction, I think Sandra is going to win the sprint, and I think Chaz will win the main race.
Nice. Well, you know what? Let's cause absolute chaos, right? I'm going to curse one of my own drivers.
Uh-oh.
Greeners is going to win the sprint race. And
what the fuck have you been smoking?
Nope. It's all part of the master plan. You see, he's going to crash it on lap 2 now. Simple Chris is going to win the main race.
Why are you cursing one of my drivers? You bastard.
Yep. So there you go. Right. Div number 1. Keep it short and sweet. And when I say short and sweet, there's basically one thing that we need to basically say. And yes, I apologise for anyone who is watching the stream, the actual stream inside the stream. It's a bit like that film. Can't remember what it's called now. No. But Inception. It's kind of that thing, you know. For the first time this season, Harrison has won a race.
Yeah, for the first time this season, we can actually say Harrison doing Harrison things.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought we were going to go the whole season without him winning a race.
There was no way it was going to happen. There was just no way.
Well, you say that, but remember, we only have the sprint weekend, Azerbaijan, and Netherlands left. So it had 3 more races.
Yeah, but
3 more races.
Baku, he's renowned for being rapid at Baku. Like, he's always been quick at Baku, and everyone knows this. So that's the one I think that he would have won anyway, even if he didn't win that race there, to be honest.
Okay.
But yeah, I just, yeah, it does make me laugh the fact that we've had to wait 13 rounds to watch Harrison win a race. But he's still in the championship, which is the scary part. I know it's probably a stretch at this moment in time with the way that Krabs has been driving, but he's still in the championship. Yeah. The big thing though is the fact that he's only just overtaken Quickted in P2 in the championship, because Quickted was ahead of him before this weekend.
Yep. Didn't race this weekend, unfortunately.
Yeah. But I can still potentially see Harrison finishing P3 with the way that Quickted has been driving as well this season. Because if you look at it,
that would be mental.
Yeah, I don't rule that out. You know, the gap's 20 points, but the way that Quickted has been going this season, don't be surprised to see him pick up a win before the end of the season. I think maybe he could be the biggest challenger to Harrison at Baku. Street circuit, Quickted's normally pretty decent at those tracks, and he'll be motivated. Plus, I think he wants to get himself a good position for the ASR as well, because I think that'd be 3 in a row if he won. So, yeah.
Yes, he would be. He won his last 2. Yes,
exactly. But yeah, I think in terms of Div 1, I think we'll just do a quick roundup on this one. So obviously, there was 11 drivers this weekend. There wasn't a lot of movement in terms of the positions as such. I think there was, a couple of site movements basically, but I think there was sort of the blocks of cars where you expect them to be, and it was sort of strategy more than anything. There was a couple of good moves in that, but the finishing positions themselves were all as expected. So Harrison with a win in the end after qualifying on pole position. You had Gamerman Steph, who qualified second, finished P3. You had Sportmad, who qualified P3, finished P4. You had Krabs P4, who finished P2. You can kind of see how it's going here, yeah. So then you got that. Then you got your next set of cars, yeah. So you've got Twaggy Garlic qualified P5, finished P6. You've got Lightshock finished P6, qualified P6, finished P5. You've got Stone Shuffle qualified P7, finished P7. Jack Whittle qualified P8, he DNF'd. You have Deathlink qualified P9, finished P8. JJ qualified P10, finished P9. And Judgy qualified P11, finished P10. So yeah, so pretty much it was very linear. You had a couple of people that swapped places overall, but actually for the most part, and it looked like there was some good racing, to be honest, as well. I've been watching as we've been talking, and there has been some very good wheel racing. But yeah, it does appear that was ultimately the thing for the weekend. But again, Harrison winning by doing the 2-stop strategy. Krabs went for the 1-stop strategy. Didn't quite work out the way I think he wanted it to. Ended up finishing about 5 seconds behind Harrison, who did end up winning in the end. But yeah, again, like Steph P3, Sportmad P4, both doing a 2-stop. Lightshot made a 1-stop work, but was like 16 seconds behind Sportmad in that P5 position, and only like 4 seconds ahead of Twaggy Garlic. So yeah, it's an interesting championship in that aspect. I think we're obviously watching that front group of cars because I think they're all very settled apart from maybe the last ASR spot. Krabs, Harrison, Quickted, Steph's kind of in there, but he's quite far back. He's sort of there, but not really in that conversation for, going higher or going lower. I think he's very settled in that position right now.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask the question. Obviously, Krabs, Harrison, Quickted, and Steph pretty secure for ASR. Obviously, Sportmad's only got a 23-point lead over Lightshock. Can you see Lightshock clawing that back, or do you reckon Mad will see it out.
I think if Sportmad turns up, you'll see it out. I think Sportmad's a quicker driver than Lightshock. I think Sportmad will be looking to try and get Steph, because I did notice, actually, I just noticed the gap between Steph and Sportmad is 14 points. But that's the thing, it's like the gap between Steph and Lightshock is, 37 points. That's a big margin for someone who's not going to be winning races. So I think it's that kind of interesting thing. It's like P6 is looking at P5, P5 is looking at P4, P4 is looking at P5 kind of thing. So it's like, it's they're all chasing different people, but they're all sort of chasing each other at the same time. So, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Steph maintain P4, Sportmad maintain P5, unless, like I say, if Sportmad misses more races, Lightshot gets it. But it's that thing, because I think Lightshot himself will tell you the same thing. It's like he's not as quick as Sportmad. So yeah, it'll be interesting to watch out how that one ends up finishing in the end. And we've got a kind of gaggle of cars, so it may be sort of P6 P7 on his own at the moment. Newton Killer hasn't raced in a few rounds, he's in P8. Then you've got Twangy P9, Stone Shuffle P10, Dixie P11, within a few points of each other, 5 points. And then you've got, again at the back, Sketchy, I think he's done for the season. Jack Whittle, DNF'd on Sunday. And then you've got JJ, who has stepped up and he's on 12 points. Deathling's on 9 points as well. And then Judgy at the bottom on 3 points. So he's raced a few races as well. But yeah. Div 1's an interesting one. I think it's going to be that sort of who finishes second, third, and fourth, and fifth, rather than who's winning the championship. Because I mean, Krabs has only not won 3 rounds this season, so that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Right. Give us a name.
Wise, I'm going to say if he's racing, Quicktid wins the sprint, and I think Krabs wins the main race.
Nice. Okay. I'm going much more simpler. I'm going to say that it's a Krabs double. Third time this season. I think he does a double, because he did it in Abu Dhabi and he did it in Britain. I think he does it again.
Yeah. Fair. Not a bad shout.
So yeah, that's where my head goes on that one. Right. Overall, very quickly. And we have got... Well, we won't talk about your team, Barnes. We'll be nice.
No. I know that my team had a shocking week this week. We only scored 11 points. And honestly, I blame myself for some of that, because obviously I'm not scoring enough points on my end. So yeah, like Liam Rossini did yesterday. The buck stops here. It's all on.
So you're getting sacked tomorrow? Is that what we're hearing now? Yeah.
Well, if they want to oust me, they can.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's just a bit of fun. It's just a bit of fun at the end of the day. So I'm
absolutely
comfortable.
Absolutely. I think there's definitely a nice little battle brewing in the middle for that P5 at the moment. I think McLaren obviously moving up a couple of places this weekend.
Yep.
But definitely there's a fight there for P5, potentially P4 if Aston have a couple of bad weeks, but the way Aston Martin are going, they've been pretty alright. I think this was their first bad weekend they've had, like since round 10. But they normally pick up about 50 odd points ish. So yeah, I think Aston seems to be doing okay.
Yeah, I do have some breaking news though. Obviously, I had a message from Rock Eskimo, and unfortunately, due to him not being able to make many races between now and the end of the season, he has stepped away from the seat, which is a shame, because I've got a lot of time for Rock Eskimo. He's done the best he can do, and I thank him for his efforts. So I have taken the steps, and I have obviously found a replacement. I have officially announcing, and I'll put this in the Discord in a little while. I'm officially announcing that Ulster Stig will be in the Mercedes come the weekend.
Very nice.
Bill.
Very nice indeed. So yeah, so that'll hopefully help your points a little bit.
Welcome to the team, Ulster Stig.
Yeah, so that'll help a little bit. But yeah, just very quickly, the gap at the top I think is almost insurmountable at this point. Red Bull again, strongest week, and they've won 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6 of the last 7 weeks they've won basically. Gap sitting at 160 points. Ferrari comfortable in second. Williams sitting in third. They are 130 points behind Ferrari and 290 behind Red Bull. That tells you everything you need to know. And then again, big gap between them and Aston Martin, 107 points to P4. And then it gets quite close at this point. So you've got Aston Martin on 573, McLaren on 516, so 57 points there. RB are 35 points behind McLaren on 481. Mercedes are on 475, 6 points behind RB. And then at the bottom, as predicted at the start of the season by many people, Haas 10 points behind the Mercedes team. So yeah, so all nip and tuck at the moment, and the 2 free agent teams sit at the bottom as you can expect anyway. Yeah.
So yeah, we had a bad weekend. Obviously, Quickly didn't race. I didn't pick up. Did 4. It was a bad week, but we'll dust ourselves off. We'll go again. But as I said to my drivers right at the start of the season, I just want to go and have fun. I don't care if they don't score many points. Just enjoy your racing. That's all I want from you boys. So.
Absolutely, that's the right way to do things. But yeah, I think that's probably a nice little point there, to be honest, to finish on. So, without further ado, is there anything else you want to say before we do end said show?
Just make sure you give Chips and Davey a follow, because he's done a great job on comms for Div 1, and he will be, I believe he'll be streaming again on Sunday night for the sprint and main race at Brazil. So make sure you go and give Chips and Davey a follow if you want to watch the comms.
There you go. Couldn't have said it better myself. Right. Perfect. Right. Well, I think it is time for us to end the stream for now. I might stream from my own account or stream someone on here later on, but I think for now, I'm going to click the magic button to make sure that it comes. There we go. Like magic, like it's meant to be. But yes, thank you to everyone who's tuned in and everyone who will tune in on YouTube later on. Obviously, we do get this uploaded onto YouTube after every single episode, so if you are watching, then yeah, thank you very much. Next week, hopefully I have Barnes. Norris should hopefully be here as well. I'm not going to be available next Wednesday night, unfortunately, but yeah, the pair of them should hopefully be here to keep the ship afloat, he says, with definite concern. But from the pair of us, thank you very much for tuning in, and we will speak to you guys later. Bye for now.